I'm sitting here with the CEO of Brain Plus, Kim Christian. Thanks for having us again.
Welcome. Welcome back.
What is the market potential for Brain Plus, and what is the company's strategy for capturing a significant share of the market?
Well, dementia is a disease that touches everyone today. So there is a very big unmet clinical need, one of the biggest in the world today, one of the things that hits people and their relatives the most hard, and also one of the most expensive diseases today. So with around 57 million people diagnosed today, and that gonna triple to 150 million over the next couple of decades, there's a very large unmet need and a very large potential as a result of that. And we estimate the market potential to be around $5 billion today, and that will triple or quadruple over the next couple of decades.
How does Brain Plus differentiate itself from its competitors? And what would you say are the unique features of its products?
So we are working as the pioneers with the world's leading dementia therapy, or rather leading non-drug or non-medicinal dementia therapy, something called cognitive stimulation therapy. And this is something that has been proven to improve cognition in people. It's been recognized by the World Health Organization. It's been recognized last year in the World Alzheimer's Report. And it has just the strongest scientific and clinical evidence behind it. And that's why we have a unique position working as the pioneers with that technology, and nobody else doing that right now, working very closely with the inventors of that and with the key experts and key opinion leaders in our target markets, Denmark, Germany, and UK.
If we look at the financial, what is the company's current financial position, and what are the projections for revenue and profitability over the next few years?
We are doing a rights issue, which has been recently announced. And in that rights issue, we are out asking for 15.7 million DKK. We already have 85% of that covered with pre-commitments and guarantees. So we're in a very good position there. You can say our total funding need is around 15 million. And that in our base scenario will bring us to break even in 25. And the rights issue also has a couple of warrants. So while we already have 85% of the 15.7 pre-committed, we can also get money in from a warrant in October and a warrant in March. So we have designed it in a way where we would continuously have possibilities for getting more funding.
You mentioned the right issue. How does Brain Plus plan to allocate the investment funds it receives?
So from a very high level, we have a couple of key criteria that we're always looking at. One is, how will we impact the health outcomes of the target audience, right? So does this actually work and make a difference in people with dementia's lives? That's kind of number one. That's why we're only working with evidence-based therapies, and we're doing clinical trials to show that it works. That's number one. The second is that it has large-scale impact. Third is that large-scale impact is not only in people's lives, but it's also commercial. We also want to have large-scale commercial impact. And the final criteria is that we survive and we thrive as a company. So that means that we create a good business. So that's on the top level. On the more practical level, it's an analysis of the business case potential, the feasibility, how that fits with our long-term big targets that will really unlock this big potential that we talked about before, and some of the more shorter-term targets starting to show sales traction, getting the investors, showing the investors that we are progressing well, and then finding the best way to harmonize those priorities.
What would you say are the biggest risks that Brain Plus is facing? And what is how can you say, both in terms of business model and in the competitive landscape?
Digital therapeutics is a new way of treating people. It has same health potential impact as we see with traditional medicines and medtech. And it will be a big part of the way we do healthcare in the future. There's no doubt about that, but it's still relatively new. So there's still a lot of getting used to this in the healthcare systems around the world. Thankfully, that is already going quite fast and well, particularly in the target markets that we have chosen to work in, Denmark, Germany, and the UK, which are some of the countries that are the most advanced in adopting and paying for, very importantly, that are paying for digital therapeutics. So this is one of the risks. One of the other risks that you usually see in companies that are going into medical treatments of some sort is, of course, that there's a clinical risk. Can you get the evidence that you want? That risk is highly mitigated in our case by the fact that the main therapy that we're working with, which was cognitive stimulation therapy, is the leading non-medicinal therapy in the world today, and the one with the most evidence. This year, a second Cochrane review came out, and if somebody's familiar with Cochrane reviews, this is kind of the gold standard of validation for therapies. So when you have one of those, and it shows that you can consistently improve cognition and other factors for people with dementia by the use of cognitive stimulation therapy, then you have a strong case. And it also means that it's a matter of time before we will get the necessary evidence on our particular way of helping to deliver this therapy.
If you're looking at the people behind Brain Plus, what is the leadership team track record, and what are the vision for the future?
It's a very strong and experienced team, and to give a few fun examples, I would say 2 of our team members have been selected for one of the top Danish selections for top talent at Berlingske, which is one of the largest Danish newspapers. So that's usually a stamp of quality. That's our CFO and our CTO. But the whole management team is strong. Our Chief Science and Innovation Officer comes from a background in some of the largest medtechs in Denmark and Coloplast, and is specialized within cognition, in particular the cognitive domains that are troublesome for people with Alzheimer's dementia. So that would be attention and working memory, for example. We have also successful entrepreneurs on the team. Brian Østergaard, our business development manager, who's helping us commercialize and build sales traction in Denmark and Germany right now. He himself has done that before. He built a leading solution for autism management in Denmark and exited that to a larger company. So in that sense, we have a very well-rounded management team. We also have a very strong board. Our chairman, Anders Hastrand, has been in executive commercial position at Pfizer Pharmaceuticals. He has led biotech companies, public biotech companies, has been chairman of board of a number of public companies. So very well suited for us in being a public tech and biotech-like company. Johan Luttmann he is the executive vice president of R&D at Lundbeck Pharma. He's been part of designing some of the drug trials for well-known Alzheimer's drugs, including the recently FDA-approved lecanemab when he was at Eisai still. And Lundbeck just got very good results on an anti-aggression drug for dementia. We have Bitul, who is Sunayan, who has also been chief strategy officer at some of the larger pharmaceuticals for digital therapeutics, including Novartis and Ferring Pharma. And then we have Hanne Hillman, who has been leading investor relations at some of the big Nordic life science successes like Zealand Pharma, and has been the CFO at Nanovi. And we just today announced that she will be stepping in interim as our CFO, which is a really big win for us. Our current CFO, Bertil, he will be on a leave of absence for a year due to personal reasons to then be able to come back. So Hannah is stepping out of the board to step into the CFO position. She is really a strong believer in what we're doing here in digital therapeutics. And so this is the team.
Sounds very good. If we look at the risks again, what are the potential regulatory and legal issues that could impact Brain Plus, and how is the company prepared to address such issues if they occur?
Being a digital therapeutics company, we are targeting being a medical product. We will be a medical intervention. That means that our entire environment is governed by regulatory. And so we are under the medical device regulations here in Europe and also in the United States. So we are software as medical device, and that's how our entire business is set up. So that part we are navigating as part of our daily operations, you can say. So that's how we work with that. That's part of being the type of products that we are. So I mean, the way we're addressing them, they will not really occur as such. Rather, it's more finding out exactly where does our product fit in to the regulatory framework depending on the claims we make about the product. There's something about the safety profile of the product. And this is more of a finding out what is it that our product delivers and where do we fit in, and then fulfilling a number of criteria. So it's a systematic process going through it. That's how we address it.
Moving on to the last question here. Why should investors take a closer look at Brain Plus?
So first of all, we are addressing one of the largest unmet clinical needs today that hasn't been addressed properly. And we have a unique solution to do that, which is the leading non-medicinal or non-pharmacological therapy for dementia today, which we are pioneering with the key expert on that, with the inventors of that. So we have a unique blue ocean position here with a very large market potential. We have a very strong team, both the operational team and also the board. And something we didn't talk about yet is that we launched the first product in Denmark since we last spoke. So we're now also live commercially. That is de-risking the otherwise biotech-like case quite a lot, that we can start commercializing early on and scaling the potential. So that's it basically. Very strong market potential, unique position, and a great team to make that happen.
Thanks for having us again, and good luck in the future.
You're welcome.